Hello roguemates, Cerebro here from roguelitesdotcom, and a lot has happened in the roguelite genre over the past week, so let's dive right in. We're starting off guns blazing with one of the most popular roguelites of all time, Hades. As also reported on our website roguelitesdotcom, Supergiant Games collaborated with popular video game merchandise company Fangamer to bring you a new line of official Hades merchandise, ranging from plushies to pins and from artwork to apparel. Some of the offerings include the Underworld Triptych print set, a Dusa talking plushie, Hades pins, and many more. So if you've been waiting to get your hands on the Cerberus plushie, head right over to Fangamer's website and order now. The link is in the description below.
I'm leaving. Try and stop me.
We have some good news and some bad news regarding Alina of the Arena. The good news is that the game is leaving early access and is gearing up for its full launch soon. So congratulations to Phoenix and IndieArc for the accomplishment. The bad news is that Phoenix has announced that on the game's August 10 launch, its price will be raised to full price. But don't you worry, they will have a sale on August 1 to 9 so you can get Alina of the Arena at a discount before its launch. July 27th marks the first year anniversary of the release of the popular crafting survival roguelite Tribes of Midgard. And to commemorate this momentous occasion, Norsefell has announced that they will be holding a special anniversary event in-game from August 23rd to September 12th. They will also be holding a special one-year celebration stream this Friday, July 29th at 3 PM Eastern, hosted by community managers Sydney and Alice, along with creative director Julian Maroda. Lastly, they will also be giving away Tribes merchandise as well as Corsair gear, so don't miss out on that. Two new brave generals have been added to the hack-and-slash action roguelite Samurai Bringers, namely Minamoto Yoshitsune and Mushasibo Benkei. Yoshitsune adopts a swashbuckling style, but is also adept at aerial and bow attacks. Benkei, on the other hand, possesses a massive polearm that allows him to draw in hordes of enemies before blowing them away with one daunting swing of his weapon. New functions like previous tips and scarecrow stashes have been added to the game, as well as mouse support for the camera rotation, and a lot more new features, game improvements, and bug fixes. There was a weird series of events that happened this week with the last spell. Ishtar Games has recently released an update on their open beta branch, which comprises of the Goldmine and Scavenger Camp rebalance, the rework of their panic mechanic, and the usual balance patches. The problem is that instead of releasing it on their open beta branch, they released it on their main branch and may have affected some of the players during this time. Ishtar Games has since apologized for this mishap, reverted their main branch to the latest stable version of their Fear of the Lake update, and properly released their recent updates to the open beta branch, so all's well that ends well. It's been a pretty big week for Necrosmith as they've recently released a major update. The list of changes include new mechanics of spawners appearing from underground and a timer for such events, 3 new achievements for destroying those spawners, language supports for French, German, Japanese, Polish, Korean, and Portuguese, new fonts, and other improvements and bug fixes. Lastly, they've also released the game's original soundtrack, which is now available on Steam for a very low price. In our latest Kingdom Gun update, after numerous delays, Incredible 2 Studios finally came through with the game's release. Unfortunately, the release was met with a lot of criticism from the player base, with the game currently having a mixed rating on Steam, with only 50% of the reviews being positive. Most of the issues the players cited were the game being unpolished and bare bones, as well as having terrible balance issues, numerous bugs, and constant crashing. Here's to hoping Kingdom Gun gets an update to fix these issues soon. New mechanics are on their way to Astral Ascent, a 2D action roguelite that was released last April. Hibernian Workshop has removed many of the auras and gambits that were not very interesting to play with, and in turn, added several new unique effects to create more synergy opportunities between your spells, auras, and gambits. Also added to the game are new summons that will trigger effects. Lastly, they have also reworked all of the gambit and aura icons to have a more distinct personality and be much more clearer. Banners of Ruin has recently released Powder Master, a paid DLC that features a new character, the aforementioned Powder Master. Also included in the DLC are new cards, including 10 Powder Master talents, 3 new enemies, and 7 new scenarios. The price will probably not break the bank, so if you're into Banners of Ruin, you might want to check out their new Powder Master DLC. Klei Entertainment has also been busy, announcing the release of the Wicker Bottom character refresh for their hit roguelite, Don't Starve Together. As mentioned, Wicker Bottom has been remade with a ton of changes to his kit, but also added in the update are the additions of the Hostile Flare and the Fencing Sword, as well as other miscellaneous changes. Nevergrind Online continues to be big in Japan. In fact, it has become so big that the servers couldn't handle the load of incoming concurrent users. This past week, Nevergrind Online developer Neverworks Games has announced that the server stability issues has been fixed, and the game was able to run with 1,000 concurrent users for hours without any kind of server hiccups, so we'd like to extend our congratulations to Neverworks Games for their accomplishment. Popular 80s-style first-person action roguelite Mythforce also announced their summer stability update. They have also announced a new weapon reveal next week, so stay tuned for that. You can try to take a swing at me. 20 Minutes Till Dawn has released Luna, the game's newest character that can create black holes to vacuum monsters in place for your deadly weapons to aim at. And speaking of aim, you can now press the spacebar to toggle the auto-aim mode on for players who want a more casual experience. Finally, Flan has expressed their interest to participate in the Tiny Teams 2022 festival, in which the game will be 10% off during the event. Last week has also been a big one for the golf-based deck builder roguelite Golfie. Tryhard Studio has recently announced the addition of the challenge menu, which contains a few challenges that will spice up how players play the game. The first challenge is called Bring the Heat, where players need to complete 18 holes despite every card costing additional heat. The next 2 challenges will be unlocked in the upcoming weeks, so do stay tuned for that. Landcars Limited has planned the release of their latest patch for Ed Zero Zombie Uprising last week, but due to the impact of COVID-19, they have postponed its release. The future date of the patch release was not announced. And last on our list, popular platformer roguelite Skul has released version 1.6, which contains a ton of status effect resistance changes to bosses, new skulls, and a plethora of balance changes and bug fixes. And that concludes the list of notable news for this week. Did we miss anything? Let us know in the comments below. Or if you want to talk about the games listed on this video or other roguelite games, you can also visit our Discord server. If you'd like to support our channel and website, check out our Patreon channel. Your support will be rewarded by having your name added to the Patreon list at the end of our videos and possibly on the roguelitesdotcom Hall of Fame as well. All notable links are on the description below. You can also like, subscribe, and share this video as other means of support. as well as hitting that notification bell button so you wouldn't miss any of our future videos. We sincerely appreciate all kinds of support, and we will do our best to make it worth your while. This is Cerebro from roguelitesdotcom, and I'll see you on the next one.